right, on today's episode of Python Papi, we're back inside our smart contracts project. Let's have a look at what we're going to be going over today. And today we're going to be back inside of our Moccasin module. Today we're going to be starting a new section called type hints. So let's dive right in with some light reading. So type hints and tests. In this section, we will go over the concept of type hints in our test, which are optional annotations that specify the expected data type of a variable or function return value. We've gone over these before, so I'm pretty sure you should be familiar with them if you've been following me along, but we're going to read over it anyway, so let's keep moving forward. So type hints can be used to improve code readability and help with static type checking. Here's how we can add type hints to our favorites contract fixture. You can see here we have our import PyTest, we have our from scripts out deploy, import deploy favorites. Then we have our decorator at pytest.fixture. We have our scope, we're going to set it to module. Then we have our favorites contract function. And you can see here we're going to have our return arrow and we're going to have any. Now, I'm not sure if we ever used the any before, but we're going to be using it today. And the any specifies or tells our contract that we want to return any type. It can be an integer, it can be a boolean, it can be a string. It doesn't matter. This any keyword here lets our contract know that we want to return any type regardless of what it is. So in this example, we added the type hint. You can see we used the return arrow and we used the keyword any to the favorites contract fixture. The any type hint indicates that the favorites contract fixture can return any data type like we specified. Now to use the any type hint, we need to import it from the typing module. This is how we can import the any type hint. You can see from typing, we will import any. Now we can also add type hints to our test functions. Let's move down a little bit so we can do a little bit more reading and go a little bit further. Here's another example of how we can add type hints to our test functions. You can see here we have one of our tests. So we have define test deploy favorites. We're going to pass in a parameter, favorites contract. This is our fixture. And you can see right here inside of the parameter, we're going to set our fixture to any, and then we're going to return none. And we're going to assert our favorites contract should retrieve the number 42. Now let's move down a little bit more because this volume bar here won't move out of the way. So in this example, we added the type hint any to the favorites contract parameter and the return arrow none type hint to the test deploy favorites function. The any type hint indicates that the favorites contract parameter can be of any type, like we specified earlier. So this setter right here is letting us know that our favorites contract fixture can be of any type. It can be an integer, it can be a boolean, it can be a string. It doesn't matter. Now the return none type indicates that the test deploy favorites function does not return any value. Now even though even though our favorites contract fixture here can be any type it wants, we're telling our contract here that we don't want to return any type with the return arrow and a none. So even though our fixture can be any type it want, we're not going to return any type at all with this particular function. Now, just another example of how we can use our type hints inside of our contracts and how we can use them inside of our fixtures in our testing. So that's it for that section there. Tomorrow we're going to be moving forward, so stay tuned for that. But of course, I will keep you posted every step of the way. For now, this is the Python Poppy. You guys stay Gucci.